Okay, so we'll start with something easy. If you could tell us a little bit about Q&A research and your role in the company.
Sure. So Q&A research has been in business for more than 30 years now. So we've weathered many ups and downs industry wide, and we have clients across many industries serving both quantitative and qualitative research services. So we work with financial services primarily, but also have worked with food and beverage. We have a big presence there. And we've worked with retail services, companies of all shapes and sizes. Over the course of 30 years, Q&A research has worked with a lot. I have been with Q&A research for 6 years. I'm going on actually 7 years now. And I started at the bottom as a project assistant and have worked my way into being the senior analyst on Q&A's team. So I have worn many hats over my time at Q&A, and now I am in charge of all of the reporting that we do here.
So this is a new workflow for you that you're implementing. How do you expect it to impact you and your team?
I'm really personally very excited about this workflow. I think that it's going to be a great change for our company. And to describe our current system right now, what we do is we have a general idea of how we want to analyze our reports. There can be some setup occasionally when the reports are not quick turnaround. But as I mentioned, we work with businesses of all shapes and sizes. And a lot of those businesses do require quick turnaround projects. So that time in field is really valuable. And it's something that we haven't been capitalizing on. And this is where the new software and the new process will come in. We're hoping to maximize that time in field and use it to get our clients and ourselves really pushing forward with that reporting effort so that they can get their deliverable as quickly as they want it, which is pretty much right after the field closes. Our current process works at about 14 days from field close until the client can get their report. We have been able to turn it around faster, but it's always a big struggle internally to get everything closed and turned around, and everyone feels a little bit frantic. With the new process, I'm really optimistic that we'll be able to take that reporting time down. I quoted my colleague, we're hoping to go from 14 to 4 days in terms of our reporting turnaround. And I'm really hopeful that using that time while the survey is in field, we'll be able to just free up a lot of time on the back end and get us to really think about the analytical story that the client wants to hear at the end. We can tell them all of the details and be a little bit more thoughtful in the report that we give to them, not just cramming to get all of the data in and the report back to the client's hands.
Change is usually a little bit difficult to push through. How did you get the rest of your team on board?
Yeah, so at Q&A, we're a small executive team, but I did talk to each of our stakeholders before discussing this because it actually does impact everyone at the company. So I spoke to our data team and made sure that everyone was really on board with the changes and the changes that it would mean for them. It means that our project managers need to be discussing reporting with the clients earlier. It means that our data team needs to be ready to prepare a midfield data run. And it means that everyone needs to be a little bit more thoughtful up front. However, I was actually met with little opposition, and everyone was very excited to hear that we could be more intentional in all of our processes and really shrink that turnaround time with a lot less stress to everyone involved.
Lastly, I'd love to hear a little bit about what you enjoy about working with Indico Labs.
Well, I have worked with Adam for a few years, and everyone at Indico has been extremely responsive. And one of the most important things that I was looking for in a software provider and also in a partner in our reporting process is that personable and responsive attitude that I get from everyone at Indico. Everyone has been extremely helpful. And I know that whenever I run into a problem, I have an immediate solution. I was actually just telling a colleague this yesterday on a phone call that I trust Indico immediately and implicitly to take care of anything that may come up. Any issue that I run into, I know I have a partner on the other side who will help me work through it. And if there's something that isn't possible, I know that they will move heaven and earth to try and make it happen or bring it to their team so that they can also work on it as well. So I have every confidence that our partnership is really strong moving forward. And I'm looking forward to the changes to our workflow internally at Q&A and also what the partnership can do for both of our companies.